Howdy do, folks. As you can see, the live stream talent must be fed. Caesar is enjoying a licking stick, as I call them. They're not really called that, so if you want to get one for your cat, don't ask for licking sticks because you'll seem like an ass. Uh, Welcome to streaming live from our living room. It is Wednesday, August 20th, 2025. The lovely Mrs. Comic will be hanging with you in the chat, and Caesar will be stinking up my hands with his cat food. So here we go again. Caesar, if you want to help me out and flick that off, that would be greatly appreciated. Thank you very much. So here we go, folks. This is not the live streams dedicated to the stories from my eventual book because I want to have that be a little bit more organized than my usual flying by the seat of my pants. Basically, summers do suck for stand-up comedy, and this really is a fundraiser for myself. I have no shame whatsoever. Send us money, donations. I turned off the super chat for tonight, which sounds fucking stupid because if I'm trying to get donations, why would I turn off the thing that lets you make it easy to tip me? The super chat is kind of great, except YouTube takes a metric fuck ton of the money and they only pay out like once a month, and you got to hit thresholds and this and that happy horseshit. I'm actually trying to whore for some summer cash right now. A couple of things going on here. You can see this as a bobblehead. I should have like an Amish comic flea market. So I'm going to sell this bobblehead to someone sometime. I don't know. It was kind of a cool gift, but I was going to have them manufactured because this one actually looks like me. So, but when I went to price this thing out, this is $100 to get this thing to look like me. And why this would be a collector's item is you see the one hand has fingers missing because previous star of the live stream show no longer with us except flying around here in spirit. Sparky, the wonder cockatiel, chewed off a finger. So there's no real punchline here, just that. And also on my flea market, I will have this Raymond the Amish comic, Frosty glow in the dark mug, which way back in the early 90s when I had an agent, he had a whole bunch of these made, and then we didn't sell them all, and then we had a big fight and we went our own ways, and then I actually had to buy back my own mugs at a discounted rate. So there's that going on. See, oh, just I think it was two days ago.
Kevin Keller said, "How should we donate? Just PayPal?"
PayPal. That's a great question, Kevin Keller. PayPal. I think I put this thing up here. Oh, I did. Except, look at, check this out. I put this up, but Mary, not Mary. Listen to me, Mary. Caesar looked so adorable that I took down the promo for how to tip me. PayPal is the one way to go. It's amishcomic@gmail.com, and also Venmo works too. At Amish Comic is the best way to send us any kind of loot, and greatly appreciated. And I actually really like the super chat. If it didn't dick me over, because it's really great to see the names pop up there. Kevin Keller, I know for a fact, I see it pops up there, and Richter pops up. And if I missed somebody, don't be a dick. I'm freaking out here. I'm a little worked up. So yeah, that's the best way. I think the link to donate is possibly in the description of this thing. But hey, you won't have to ask me twice. If you forget how to donate money, just message me on Patreon or Facebook or Instagram or any of those ways. I will be more than happy to tell you how to give us money. So as it turns out, I can't make it through the summer. We can't make it through the summer on one big Emmaus Theater show, much as I would have liked to. Stand-up comedy has been weird. Some years I perform at county fairs, and then when I'm there and I upset people even doing a toned down show, they probably don't have me back the next year. But I haven't done too many private gigs, which are also frightening. So anyway, I thought, fuck me in a bucket of goo, I'll stream this shit here. Mrs. Comic, I don't know where it is now, but do you have the David Lynch shirt handy. Is that in the laundry?
Let's see.
Don't go in the basement,
I won't.
because I think it was 2 days ago. Um, let's see, and I hope Stein is watching. Our friend Stein, who donated all kinds of food for cats. Um, I was telling him some of the stories. Where the heck is it? Let's see here. Ba-bum-ba-bum-ba-ba. Okay, so it's 2 years now. We're going to play I Spy a Cat. You look at that picture right now and you see where the cat known as Caesar is hugging the top of that tree. The story of saving Caesar will somehow have to make it into a children's book that all I have to do is really report. That's a whole nother book I got to write. I'm trying to write a book about the stories of my career. I'm trying to write a book about an Amish ghost story, and it's actually this children's book, Caesar getting stuck up in the tree, will be a great story. So now here's the thing. I've told this story before, but I'm telling it again because it is up 2 years now that we have this, I say, little guy. He's the biggest little guy I've ever seen. So, little background story. Richter, if you're not home from New York yet, I know you're listening in the car. It's very unsafe, so don't join in the chat. But if you hop in the chat there. So, it's well known that Mrs. Comic and I are big David Lynch fans. It's also well known that we are big Mahoning Drive-In Theater fans. So, Mahoning Drive-In was doing a David Lynch event 2 years ago on the dates are right here on the shirt, August 18th and 19th. The 19th is when, I think it was the 19th that Caesar actually came down out of the tree. Now, there we go. Let's see, there he goes. I had him up there. If you didn't spot him, I don't know how the image turns around, but he's hugging a branch at the top of this picture, and he blends right in. I should have cropped that sucker. So Mrs. Comic and I had pre-ordered the David Lynch commemorative t-shirts for the David Lynch Drive-In. Caesar, who had been, let's see, where the heck is he? Oh, he's in this blanket right here. This is a fun game. I made a lot of trouble for myself. I set up the live stream in a place where he really likes to play. So that's a problem for me. Let's see if I can find this other picture here. Let's see. So what he did, this little son of a gun, he was, where is it? He was already coming around in our yard and stuff, and we were feeding him. But on the day of the David Lynch drive-in, he was up in this tree, and we had to call in the troops to our grown-up nephew Lee and his wife Lanny. That's folks we went to Ireland with for their wedding. They are professional cat savers. That's what they do. They just save them. So I was texting around a team here, and within an hour, Lee came up with all kinds of wood and boards and shit, and he fucking pounded this wood together to make this tree, this cat ladder to get Caesar out of the tree. Now, if you see where it looks like wicker, that is definitely wicker. See, that's my own creation. That's the bathroom wicker privacy wall, which we have no privacy wall now, so you could probably see our junk when you look through the bathroom window, but you really shouldn't be looking through the bathroom window anyway, because we've determined that Caesar stuck up in the tree was not going to be able to come down. If you see the lower part of the boards, he was going to have to do some kind of circus act to make it down there. So now I donated that, and then Lee just fucking pounded them things right there. That is a heavy fucking contraption. That contraption will never be marketed. It's really heavy, and I'm a dumbass, and so I was the one who had to like push down on it to get it to go up, and I couldn't accept this concept. And Lee kept saying, "You got to push down on it, because when someone's trying to lift something up, you want to lift up to help them lift the thing up." That's what's going on there. So we got that sucker up there. Now I'm gonna throw this picture back here again because it's important to the story. Our grown-up nephew Lee, he's the one off to the right of this picture with a gray shirt on and a baseball cap and shorts. He's really athletic. He was a brilliant baseball player in high school. Probably could have turned pro if he would have rammed up steroids and got bigger, but he didn't want to do it. He took gobs of wet cat food and he threw them from ground level straight up to the very top of that fucking where the wicker is in the tree. He threw it like he was going to win a prize at a carnival. That's what he did. And the funny part of that story was is that he did it exactly the exact amount of throws he threw. That's how much food was up there. And then he'd be all proud because he'd have a gob of wet food and he'd throw it up there and there were little ridges from the wicker, my creation, where the cat food landed. And we're trying to get Caesar to come down onto the wicker to eat the cat food, and then he would come down further and further. But then he was surprised that his hand had all kinds of wet cat food shit on it. He'd like throw it, he's like, yes, that's perfect. He's like, ugh. Like it's almost like he didn't know what the fuck he was doing. So that was kind of magical right there. And so this went on, and now the backstory here is that Caesar had been coming out and we were feeding it for probably a solid month. And then there was a thunderstorm and he just fucking disappeared and everything was kind of sad and we hoped that he just went home. But we've determined he's not a feral, he's a stray. If you don't know, a feral just was born outside, lives outside, rough and tough. Caesar was an indoor cat that somebody let get out. And he let us know right away that he was made for indoor living. He pretended, we love this guy. He's right here, you can see him. That's the shape of him right there. And if I get him too wound up, he's going to start poking at me. He pretended he already fucking lived here. He ran at me and Mrs. Comic like, oh my God, I'm so happy to see you guys. I'm home. Don't you know me? I'm like, well, not yet. So when he was gone, you think the best, and then, but you don't want to think the worst because hey, that's fucking stupid. How would we know about the worst? So we were putting food out for him, and he wasn't showing up, and then I don't think I loaded in the right picture tonight. Did this by the seat of my pants. So when he was outside, let's see, where is he? Up the tree. Let's see. So when he was outside, Bearcat's out there, and Bearcat's not very limber, but this guy is. So I had to set the food, put the food outside, prepare it. There's a little picnic table that is part of Bearcat's shelter. It's an old picnic table. I was threw canvas over it, so I had to prepare Caesar's food on that table and Bearcat's on the ground level, and then Caesar would just leap up and he'd start eating and stuff. So OCD me, I started going out at night and just talking and setting up that food on that table, thinking he could probably hear me, and I was correct. It was the night. He'd think he'd been gone like four days that we hadn't seen him. A thunderstorm had come and gone. I heard him crying, like if I thought I was hallucinating, and then Mrs. Comic came out and she heard him crying. And when something is up in a tree and crying and you don't know what's up there and it's night and it's wind, it was like a Twin Peaks episode where you go over here and you go, well, it sounds like it's coming from over there. And then he'd make a noise, then he little fucker got quiet. So then we have to guess where he was. And so we kept guessing wrong this way and that. And then that was like 2 or 3 hours, and then I couldn't take him. I said, well, what? I had to look for him tomorrow. I don't know where else to look for him. Plowed brush away and trimmed hedges, which I got to do now, but I did it late that night. And then I thought, we could still hear him. And then Mrs. Comic, who I love with all my heart, she almost got murdered that night because she said, what if he fell down into the underground railroad tunnel that they used to get folks from the south to safety here in the north? we're part of the Underground Railroad system underneath our yard. I don't know why I'm not famous for that, from being historic. And then I lost my fucking mind. I'm like, oh, now you're gonna tell me it's possible Caesar fell in the tunnel? And I didn't just say no. That don't talk so dumb. He didn't fall in the tunnel. I needed proof. So my proof was I went out and I listened for him again. If he had fallen down that tunnel, it would have been muffled. So I could come in and report that it was crisp sounding Caesar, wherever the fuck he is. I know he's not in the tunnel. So now we called it a night, and I went out early in the morning, and I heard him again. I heard him. And so I found him up in a tree. I fucking found him up in that tree. That's where he was, up in the tree. And that's where all the excitement began, because that was the day we were supposed to go to the drive-in movie, but we could not go there. Lee came up and his wife came up, and they built this amazing ladder. It was a team effort, and we spent all day and into the night to try to get this thing going. And our relatives, our Lee and our Lanny, are so fantastic. Lee made this ridiculous cat toy like fucking Herman Munster would have, so we could steer Caesar away from either going up too high or going on the wrong branch. So this went on all day and into the night. Now this poor little guy was up there at least 4 days. I don't know how the fuck he survived up there without food and water. But then again, our grown-up daughter, Josie, they were doing some research, and she said cats can go like 30 days without food and water. And I'm like, well, that's fucking just great. I'm going to live like this for 30 days. So, but he was definitely weak, and he was crying. And throughout a lot of this rescue here, he would just sleep. He'd just fucking fall asleep, or trying to get him to go this way and that. Lee wanted him to jump so he could catch him. And I'm cheering him on, because if he's athletic, he would be good at catching him. And then Lee's wife, the voice of reason, said, don't jump, Caesar, don't jump. These guys are knuckleheads, don't fucking do it. So then we sat out there at night, and they ordered pizzas, and nothing happened. And they said, well, let's just call it, he's not going to come down tonight. So in the morning, when I went out, he'd already come down, and he went wherever the hell he was going to go. I reported this to Lee and Lanny. They were happy but also sad, and they said, well, we would have liked to see him come down. I said, well, I didn't really go over the schedule routine with him. He just came down. But I said, don't worry, he'll be back. And within an hour, he was crying at the door, and we filmed a little video, which I also should have loaded in, but I didn't. And at that point, we still didn't know what we were going to do with this guy. And so, as a team, Mrs. Comic and I, and our grown-up nephew and his wife, made it like a commitment to save this cat. We realized he shouldn't go back outside. You can save some cats and get them fixed and clip their ear and feed them and shit, and then put them out there. Not this guy. So we were trying to find a home for him. They had feral cats that they had made a doctor appointment for a cat that came around a couple of days, and it didn't fucking show up. So they said, does Caesar want this cat appointment? I said, well, I don't know if he wants it, but I want him to have it. So they came up, and they got him, and they cut his balls off, and they put him in the cat house for like a week, and they rehabbed him and shit. And I was just looking at videos of when I go do anything on the MacBook, he hops right on my lap. And there's videos of that because she works from home, and so there was a lot of videos which I didn't realize where she's got her laptop here and the cat's all over. So he already had some computer training before we got him. The home he was going to go to, that fell through. I knew it. And one of their cats, that they didn't hate him, he just kind of blended in, but one of the cats, he was making one of the cats nuts and ripping their fur out and shit. So when the day came for the person to adopt Caesar, who didn't show up, it was our turn. And Mrs. Comic knew it was our turn, and I didn't even know it was our turn. She was plowing shit, making room for him upstairs, and I'm like, what are you doing? She goes, Caesar is coming here. Whether you know it or not, it's our turn. It is our turn to save this cat. So we went to get Caesar, and it was one of the nights when the Wheel of Time series was playing. So that's another thing I missed because of this adorable little fucker. Um, and some bad luck for us when we got him here. The thunderstorms hit, and he was so fucking afraid. So we had him upstairs. Mary was down, so they didn't get along together yet. Um, but he guarded at the bottom of the steps, which is a smart place if there's a thunderstorm. But now we were both stuck upstairs, and every time we tried to come down, he was all hissy and afraid and big fucking cat. So we'd have to wait, and then an hour would go by, and no thunderstorm. Then we would go, and then he was calm, and the thunderstorm hit again. So we wound up just keeping him. That's something I cover in my show. When you go to save cats, if you feed them outside, that's a thing. But you got to keep feeding them. You just can't feed them like a time and then not. But if you got a guy like this and you're thinking of finding him a home, if you can't find him a home, you got a cat. And that's what Caesar said. I don't know what the fuck you're trying to help me find a home for because I already got a home. So he's just been incredible. Well, we're still learning all kind of fun stuff here now. This is him. He's still, when Bearcat's outside, Bearcat's a lucky motherfucker. Bearcat's a black cat out there who doesn't want a home. It just looks in the kitchen for me to feed it. And also, Caesar gets all worked up at the back window. So Bearcat's so fucking stupid. He doesn't realize that a cat rings the dinner bell to get me to take food out for him. So when Caesar sees Bearcat out there, we're liable to see a thing like that. So that just happened today. He's a big son of a gun right there. So that's feral cats right there, and here's again Caesar. He actually didn't know how to play. He learned to play a little bit in his 1 week when his balls were rehabbing. This is one of my own contraptions. Caesar loves boxes from Aldi's, and you can see that box. He puts holes in them all the way around, and that box is sitting on what used to be my footstool, and I cannot put my feet up there now because, well, that's where we have a lot of fun. So there's that, and then we got that here. Let's see, I don't think I have any more Caesar videos in there. Let's see. Oh, so the other fun thing about Caesar is we're actually really lucky. He doesn't like people food. He just doesn't, and that's a good thing. But he wants to know that he doesn't like it. So there he is, not liking my popsicle. But if you don't offer it to him, it's a whole fucking nightmare right there. So there's that. So this is one of the greatest creatures that we've ever known. Somehow, I do a thing. It's an honorary thing. If you have a cat that it's not just a pet, that it seems to connect with human beings on a level that makes you seem kind of a little bit insane, you achieve the title of person cat. Caesar has achieved the title of person cat simply because we have to explain every fucking thing we do to him. I mean everything. If I pick this up, this drink, he's gonna want to know what's that. If I wiggle this bobblehead, he'll want to know what is this bobblehead. And I think he's protecting us. He follows us all around, and when one goes and the other one doesn't go, like say Mrs. Comic goes up to the bathroom, he will hear the sounds of her going up, but then his head will go to listen to the sounds. Then he'll look at me like, is this important? Should I be going up there? Should I follow her? And whether I say go or not, he usually decides to go. So this guy has been absolutely incredible. And again, this is actually a fort. What people think I don't really do much anymore. I built cat toys and cat forts all over the place. It's really a full-time job. It just doesn't pay that well. So the Caesar rescue story, absolutely incredible. Mrs. Comic and I, we were sad because Mary was getting older and we weren't even supposed to have a cat because I'm allergic. So we didn't feel like it would be a good idea to go out and get a rebound kitten to make us feel good, and that seemed bad. And then this big guy showed up, and he literally he fucking pretended that he lived here. That's what he did. He pretended he knew us. He pretended he lived here. And Mrs. Comic, I said to her, he hadn't come in yet. I said, you gotta be careful because he's hell bent on getting in that back door. He's really trying to get in. And she goes, oh yeah, I know. He's been in like twice already. So well, I'm a little fucking behind the 8 ball there. But
Victor said he can't do super chat, and he wants to know what's the deal with that Stein mug.
Oh, are you just coming in, Richter? No, you can't do super chat. I turned it off when I kind of YouTube keeps the fucking money too long. The deal on this mug is, Richter, it's really got your name on it. You send me whatever you want to send me through PayPal or Venmo, and this would be yours. If I was more successful, I'd just gift it to you for how great you've been to us. But you can hit me up with anything like that after the show. Now I forgot what the hell I was talking about. Apparently Richter made it home from work, so that's good. Richter made it home from work, fantastic. Richter, you might have missed the David Lynch commemorative Caesar t-shirt story. The other punchline to that is some of the cast from Twin Peaks was at the Lynch event. The Michael Horse, I think his name is, he played Deputy Hawk. He's a fucking cat freak. He is a cat addict, and he would have probably come back if I would have went up to the drive-in. He probably would have come back to help us get this fucking cat out of the tree. So that's how we got Caesar, and I have so many videos, and it's really kind of fun to see him. I didn't load them all in when he first appeared. He was a string of bones, man. He was, you could see his bones, his shoulder bones, and he also had. I think he does good with us, and I don't know if he would have done that good with another family because we kind of understand him. He really did pretend it like he lived here. So when we go out, and he was happy to see us, and then we give him food and everything. But when we went to go back in, he would start pulling on our pants legs, and it seemed like he was biting us, but he wasn't biting us. He was like, he'd grab a hold of my pants, and he'd like tug at me like, why with his teeth? Why are you going in without me? So he has a teeny little bit of that still yet, but people who don't know cats could take that wrong. Like if you with the wrong person and the cat goes at your foot, kicking him is really a bad idea. So we don't. He's just absolutely fantastic, and so it's what's that? He follows us everywhere. He really does, and it's kind of funny too because if you're like me, well, if I'm sitting around having a beer or a bourbon, I just hate when I have to pee. It's just fucking, I don't want to piss in my pants or anything. I don't want to wear man diapers, but it's like, oh, fuck it. I should have drank bourbon because I don't have to pee as often, but I had 2 beers. He will follow up to the bathroom and just lay around and be all adorable. That's really kind of making bathroom time kind of fun and exciting. If you think about it, oh, fuck, I don't want to go to the bathroom, but, well, Caesar will come up there, and then sometimes he doesn't hear that we're going up or see that we're going up, and then he gets his reward treat up there. Make no mistake about that. But then we're coming down, and he'll be at the bottom of the steps, and he'll be like, oh, fuck, I mean, I was coming. Seriously, I was coming, and I believe I deserve the treat because I was coming. And so that's a lot of fun, too, and he mostly sleeps with us. And, again, he's a big cat. He's a big guy. He lays on Mrs. Comic's chest, which is something that's really my spot. But we'll spot him this thing here. So he's fantastic. I think that's all my Caesar picks I've got going in there. You got the window, up the tree. You got that there. Up the boo. The rescue. I love this rescue toy. That's incredible. Again, you won't be able to find any of that stuff on eBay. It was too fucking heavy. Now, let's see here. There's the popsicle. Okay, back to me live. Now, let's talk about the live stream I want to be doing for the book. trying, as you can see now, stand-up comedy, sometimes there's no money. That's basically, so that trying to make money in stand-up comedy most definitely detracts from being able to sit and write a book. If I was fucking said 10 HBO specials, I could just sit here and bang off this book without too much fuss. So to get a refresher, because I've been away from the book writing of the stories of my career for so long, I want to do a series of live streams specific to stories from my career that I think are actually really great stories. So I have all kinds of notes, and I want to break it up. I want to do at least 3 of them, but I don't want to just fucking wing it. I want to have a little bit of structure. And the first one that I want to do, the thing will be like 45 minutes to an hour, but I want to have people know when I'm going to have them, so they're like, oh fuck, I missed that. Or if you hate me and you want to miss it, then you can plan ahead to do something else. That works too. But the first one is going to focus on that I didn't really plan to be a stand-up comedian. That kind of happened accidentally, and we had a lot. I was working a shitty job in a screen printing shop, and they listened to the WZZO morning show, and that's how those are the pieces of how things started. Of my career actually started phoning into the Bearman and Keith, which is also fucks me up a little bit too, because it wasn't Bearman and Keith when I first started phoning in. It was Keith and John. I had no idea who the Bearman was. He had been here years before I started listening, and then he's from Buffalo and he went back to Buffalo, and he was a radio icon, a big powerful voice. If you're gonna do radio, man, you wish you had his fucking voice. And so when he came back, uh, John Carfey had to go, and it was simple as that. And so, but no, I didn't get any of these memos. So the transition of Carfey really helped me start my comedy career. So I cannot ignore that. But he did so much to help start my career. Then I was in complete terror when Bearman came back, but I was wrong about that, because Bearman helped my career as much as just about anybody that I can think, and Keith too, for that matter. So I'm getting ahead of myself, but the first the first live stream dedicated to stories from my book will focus on the Bearman and Keith days. Really, a lot of shit happened. Again, I wanted to have some kind of cohesive flow to it, not like this happy horse shit I'm doing right now, which I absolutely love. I'm gonna toast everything up. As crazy as things are, this is peach. This is peppermint schnapps, not peach. This is Mrs. Comic's mother's drink. Shout out to her, one of the angels watching over us, and this was her go-to. Like, if you didn't feel good, here, have some peppermint schnapps. Are you depressed? Here, have some peppermint schnapps. It's really an acquired taste. I love it. It's like candy. I've given it to a few friends already. A friend of mine, Frank, who's been in and out of the live streams here with us, has been a tremendous friend. Also, one of the stars of the stories from the Clee days. He couldn't stand it. When we gave him peppermint schnapps, I think it possibly almost ended our friendship. He says, how the fuck can you drink that shit? So there's that. That's fantastic right there. And amidst me begging and pleading for money here, we'll have a happy, blessed life. And I thought, well, the chips are down a little bit, cash flow is a little shaky. Just fucking stream, man. Just stream and tell some stories and get shit out there. And at the very least, it's therapy, right? It's therapy. That's what's going on there. Also, I'm going to use some of these live streams also. The book of the stories of my career, I made a decision to not bash people that fucked me over. I will tell the stories, but I'm not going to name bash. I'm not, but because it is a brutal, ugly business, and so it's going to focus on happy, fun stuff. And of course, the stories where people dick me over must occur, but we will eliminate the names. to keep that whole flow going. So again, I got notes here for that. That's a whole nother thing. And I might do a Patreon survey to see what would be a good night for you folks for that. But I think if I give you enough advance notice, we should be all right there. So now here I'm back to babbling. Oh, I had something else. I didn't have a picture of it here. Let's see if I can show you this picture. Let me tell you something. My fans over the years have been the absolute fucking greatest. Any entertainer would love to have my fans. I don't know if you can't see that, so because of the lighting. Okay, so this is a framed commemorative thing to me. And if you came in here and you saw it, you might punch me and go, man, how fucking full are you self for you that you have this commemorative thing for you? This was done by my good friend Win the Barber, who was with me as a fan all 34 years of my career, and um, a amazing guy. He passed away however many years ago, and his widow, what is his wife, she gave me that. And that's very sweet of her to give it to me, but now I have a thing that commemorates me, which kind of sort of makes me look like a dick. But again, I've had kind of really great luck with fans and stuff. You guys are absolutely amazing. I made some notes here. Let's see if I can tell some funny stories here while we're at it. Let's see here. Bibbidi bobbidi boo. I made all kind of notes now. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Oh, I'm all over the place now. We got Caesar got saved. That's a big hooray. We have me trying to raise some summer loot. That's a big hooray. But I don't know how you feel about this, but Mrs. Comic and I always get sad for the kids when summer ends. It's just like our kids aren't in school anymore, but our daughter is a teacher, and then so when the school year starts up again, there's a little sadness there. I don't know why, and they really kind of fuck things up now because with Zooming, kids don't even get a proper snow day. They have to fucking have Zoom school. That's a bunch of bullshit. But school used to traditionally start after Labor Day, but now everybody starts up before Labor Day, and I still don't know why that makes us sad. But it's just school starts young, and that becomes a whole thing of have to your whole fucking life. And that's why when you can enjoy your life in the later years, fucking do it. It's just a series of have tos, and the kids get pounded with homework because the school week isn't enough that they have to just fucking go this. Heaven forbid if they have any fucking free time to play with cats and shit. So homework is a bunch of batshit ball stuff too. So we don't like that. But one of the main reasons I really hate when the school year starts up again is that I'm up till 3 o'clock every night, and so I get my 8 hours sleep. But I don't really get my ass in gear to go out into the world until maybe I get up before noon. It's like a goal for me to get up by 11 o'clock. But till I can get out my ass out the door and go to Aldi's to get Caesar, an Aldi box to put holes in it, it probably creeps up around 2 o'clock till I'm ready to leave and do anything. And so once the kids are back in school, I gotta deal with all the fucking school buses and shit. And I'm here in Emmaus, and when the school lets out at 2:15, and it's different every fucking day. It's some day it's Wednesday's like early day. I don't know what, but Cedar Crest Boulevard to go to Aldi's or where the hell you're going, that backs up like fucking lining up to go into the Lincoln Tunnel, and that pisses me off. Which again, after however many years, you'd think I would have a rhythm for this, but no, I don't. So the school year is going on, and then I will tell you my one stupid back to school joke, because this is sometimes an entertaining show. Not always, but sometimes it's an entertaining show. So I don't have much school humor, but there's a, how did the rant go? Oh, you're reading math problems. That's it. Reading math problems never solved any problems for anyone in the world ever. And I believe reading math problems were invented by frustrated professors who couldn't get laid in high school or college. And I just figured, fuck it, if I couldn't get laid in high school and college, nobody else can too. Go ahead and fucking solve that with your parents and take you 5 hours of crying and knocking on doors and making phone calls and shit. The reading math problems is the dumbest fucking thing. And even in the one-room schoolhouse, we had to put up with this shit. If a buggy leaves Blue Ball at 7:30 in the morning with a bump on its wheel, and a second buggy leaves Ephrata at 7:35 in the morning, and both buggies are pulling 50-pound bags of manure, which one gets to market first? Now, you and I know that's a trick question because it's the fucking Mennonite in the pickup truck. I know it's stupid, but that's my one school joke right there. So there's that. And we're going back to, we tell some school stories now. Our grown-up daughter went to Mays High School, and she graduated however many years ago. And it was her senior year, and one of the professors, it probably was around in May. I'm not sure when they graduate. I think seniors stop going to school like in the middle of May. I think somewhere in there. So it's the beginning of May, and one of our professors said, "Hey, isn't your father Raymond the Amish comic?" And she said, "I made it through my whole high school years without anyone knowing. And 2 weeks away, I'm outed." So there was that. She made it pretty far. And the last 2 weeks were just coasting. But school stuff drives me fucking Looney Tunes. The problem that we've had with school over the years is like simple stuff. You're supposed to do, kids are supposed to do what everybody else is doing. That's fucking stupid. So, our daughter was, I'm guessing this might have been third or fourth grade. And so, on a fucking Friday, so let's say it was fourth grade, calls up and leaves a message on my answering machine and said, "This is your daughter's fourth grade teacher, and I was concerned about something and I wanted to talk to you about it, but it'll keep till Monday if you don't call me back." How the fuck will it keep till Monday? How do you call me up and tell me there's a situation with our daughter that we have to talk about? Because when the school calls you up and you got to talk, that's something fucking weird. So I didn't get a hold of her until the following week. We went nuts all fucking weekend, and and that gave me more time to stew. And yes, Richter, how I get worked up on my show, I get worked up on my regular life. So by Caesar's just waking up from his nap here. So by Monday, I was a time bomb, ready to go. And everybody thinks their kids are smart. I know our kid is smart. Our kids are all smarter than us, and I love that. So the problem was that she fucked my weekend up, this teacher. The problem was that our daughter didn't play kickball at recess, at lunch recess. That's why she had to fuck me up. That's why she fucked up our whole weekend. Mrs. Comic and I went into fucking therapy. We're losing our fucking minds. She jumps rope, and she was jumping rope and dancing around and doing shit. It's not like she sat there going, "I think I'm gonna build bombs that kill people." No, she was jumping rope, and she was doing physical activities that she just didn't like kickball. And this didn't seem like a good reason to fucking upset me, but it did. I really talked to the teacher. I was like, I don't really understand why it's such a big deal if she doesn't want to play kickball. So it wound up she didn't have to play kickball, and the teacher wouldn't have had to fuck me up like that. So things with school that are kind of amazing, and other things are just like that's just fucking dumb. So if you have kids and have to go back to school, cut them some fucking slack, because that's a bunch of bullshit right there. Well, let's see here. I'm toasting with water. That doesn't do much. I know. I hope you've had a good summer. It was a crazy summer for us, and so I don't make any money over the summer, so the summer's kind of typically, they don't suck, but it's like we're just hanging around, playing with cats, doing stuff. But we have fun at home, so it's not like we have to go out and do shit. I had some friends during the pandemic who lost their fucking minds because they like to go to bars, and they it made them really fucking nuts. And then somebody on YouTube made uh, a video of like bar sounds and all that shit, so it could make it seem like you were at a bar while you're at home. You'd have to really drink a fucking lot to think you were at a bar from watching a fucking YouTube show. Fuck me in a bucket of goo. Um, let's see here. Well, we used to run around back in the Clee days. Frank, we went to some bars, but we mostly got into a lot of trouble. We never got beaten up or anything, but uh, my my passion to dick with people in a fun way. Uh, that I I don't think I want to turn it off, but we used to dick with people all the time. And Frank, uh, if you're ever watching this thing, Frank, I love you, and I wish you'd move back to a state where we could visit. Frank used to toss out. The rule of improv is this: he's not a comedian, but the rule of improv is when somebody throws out an idea, you got to run with it. So he knew if he threw out an idea, I have to run with it. So Frank was all grown up, and he had some work buddies that were in California, and they were moving, or they were coming to visit here, or thinking about moving to Connecticut or whatever. So he actually lived in Phillipsburg. He lived in Easton, right on the border there, Pennsylvania. And so his friends, I think his girlfriend at the time, said, "Do friends coming from work, and he wants you to give him the tour." He figured Frank lived right in New York. I don't know how the fuck he thought that. So I got sucked into this. We were going to have to pick up this guy and meet him and give him a tour of New York. We went up to New York to see weird shit. Meredith Monk, Philip Glass, any Frank Zappa, modern dance, all kinds of weird shit. We didn't know anything about what New York tourists want to see. We didn't know where the fucking Statue of Liberty was. We didn't know the names of bridges. We didn't know none of that shit. But he was expecting the tour. So now, not only was this guy's hotel not close to Easton, it wasn't even really close to, all that close to New York. For reasons I could not tell you, he was staying at a hotel that is the Giants Stadium. And I think that's the Caucasus, New Jersey. It's at fucking the Meadowlands is out there in the middle of nowhere. They have a giant hotel. So we went there to meet him. That already took an hour and a half to get there. And I guess a lot of people would think this was a kind of an amazing thing. It wasn't the football season yet, but it might have been around when things were starting up, where players were having to report to this stadium for practice or who the fuck knows what, and it was just only starting up, and the hotel was fucking dead because it was seasonal, and the football season hadn't started yet, and there was nothing to see out there. So we're meeting him in this lobby of the Giants football stadium hotel, and all these players, which we didn't know were players, they didn't have to report yet. It was like tomorrow, so they were just checking in, and they were all fucking 6 feet tall, 280 pounds, fucking muscles, all kinds of shit. And us, our scrawny little fucking dumbasses there, everybody who was there thought everybody had something to do with football, and we fucking did not. And some of these guys were a little stupid. I would call them just fucking giant linebackers. They were both white guys. It sounds racist, but it's kind of important to the story because he had a kind of a big, strong, dumb hillbilly thing going on, which means they were probably linemen. I don't really know. And they asked if we were from there, and then we said, no, we're from over there. And then Howie goes, well, I thought you lived here. No, I don't fucking live here. So then we got outed there, and then we asked them, well, where are you guys from? And the one guy said, well, I'm from here. And his friend said, you're not from here, you're from Indiana. So where do you go with a conversation like that? I mean, where do you fucking go with a conversation like that? So I don't even know why I brought that up. It's just that That was a dumb thing to bring up tonight. I'll make a note here. Never tell that story again, because it doesn't really have a punchline right there.
We were talking about school days and then running around with Frank and Mark.
What's that?
You were talking about school days and then running around with Mark.
Oh, that's right. Mrs. Comics was talking about school days and running around with Mark and Frank. Oh, there was an actual point to this story because Frank used to make shit up all the time. So during those days, we went to possibly a bar in Connecticut because Frank had moved up to Connecticut, and then they asked again, you know, what are you guys doing? Where are you from? And all this and that. So Frank told a big, strong bartender that I lived in the woods, outside, and I built trails. And the guy's like, I don't believe it. At the time, I had been working out like nobody's fucking business. I had started stand-up comedy, and I was lifting weights as a stress buster, and I wound up getting trained by Pillsbury Doughboy and the Caveman, and we had leg day. So my legs were fucking chiseled like nobody's fucking business. And the bartender said, let me see your legs. So I actually rolled up my pants leg and showed him my calf. And then he was thrilled to ask me lots of questions about my career of building trails and living in the woods that I had to fucking make up. But apparently I did a good enough job to keep the free drinks coming. So I have to think of more stories because Frank set me up for a whole lot of shit and we had to improvise it. Yeah, that was fun days. Let's see here. Kat said, you want a treat, but you're not awake. Okay, my show is probably way over its limit, but I don't really care. So if you are done and you had enough, just go. And if not, Richter said, well, I'll just fucking do a marathon. It's like one of those things, the Jerry Lewis telethon. That's what we were gonna do. That we're gonna do a telethon. I'd stream for like 90 hours straight. And then the ball of donations would go up like this. But again, it's shit that we didn't do. Now I'm going back in my notebook here. Okay, Caesar right now. I hate to say that I have a seat, but I have a seat. It used to be this one, but when I sit in this one, then he expects me to give him those licking sticks. So my seat over there, where I have my little writing stuff set up and all that, Caesar's over there now, so that's actually good. It's not good as far as the broadcast goes, but it's good as far as him not soft chewing my knuckles. Let's see here. Oh, I probably told this story semi-recently, but this goes back to the school days. Stand-up comedy has been so good to me. It also, once I could quit my 19 other jobs that I had, made it so that I could be a chaperone for any of the school trips. And we had run to New York a lot. Frank made us go to New York. I've been driving up to New York since I'm 20 years old, so I can drive to New York like nobody's business. So I became a sought after chaperone because when people are going to New York, schools going, and they want somebody kind of a little bit familiar with New York, if possible. It's no big deal, but also since I had a scary head, they figured, well, he knows New York, and he has a scary head, so nobody's going to fuck with us. So we went and we did so many school trips to New York just to see stuff. And our daughter had been going to New York so many times by then already that she also became like quite an excellent New York tour guide. But we didn't really do the touristy stuff. So when we had this little group we were in, one person in that group had never been to New York. So she didn't say, oh shit, but her face said it. She said, oh, now we gotta go do the tour stuff. So she she knew that this kid never saw any of the stuff. She was disgusted, but then we went and we saw Times Square, and then we did all the stuff, and then we did the tour. Rockefeller Center, one of the greatest, I'm babbling here, but I don't care. One of the greatest trips that we had up there was, I'm guessing our daughter was in high school by this time, and she was in a select singing group. Cadence might have been the name. They were really fucking good. There was an audition choir, and this was like the audition choir, and they went up there to see a lot of musicals, and I got to go on all those trips. Her teacher, her music instructor at that time, was a very serious lady. She's actually in a documentary, Most Valuable Players. See that, it's about high school musicals. If you didn't know her, she seemed kind of nasty, but she was really a sweetheart. And she somehow, for whatever reason, this serious lady got the biggest kick out of me. And so we went up, and it was during, I think it was during Chinese New Year. It was really fucking cold out there. And we had an old Dutchy bus driver, Charlie. And Charlie was a little guy, and he had a great sense of humor. He also got a kick out of me. We went past, the kids didn't want to see any of the sights, so we went past Grant's tomb, and he said, "There's Grant's tomb. Anybody know who's buried there?" And I said, "Yes, Hugh Grant." And then he went, "1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi." Then he laughed. It fucking took him a few minutes, right? So now, we were going into Chinatown, not to see musicals, just to do the tour, right? Just to do the tour. And this was really fucked up. They had, somehow they contracted a person in New York to hop on our bus and be like a tour guide. And this guy was a fucking real asshole. He had a British accent. I don't know what the fuck why they didn't just pay me that money and give it the tour. We were going to be, he was giving us a lesson on how to buy knockoff shit in Chinatown without getting cheated, which I thought was kind of a weird lesson to give high school kids. So we also had carte blanche because of my experience of running around New York to kind of do our own thing. So we got dropped off there and we ran around. We escaped the tour a teeny little bit. But you couldn't just drive in because it was Chinese New Year. That's what it was. You couldn't just drive into, if you've ever been to New York, when you go through one of the tunnels, Holland Tunnel, I think it's the Holland Tunnel, you drive a straight shot, it'll take you right up to Brooklyn. And so, but that's Chinatown right in there. And so, but Charlie, our bus driver, he couldn't get in there. And so we had to wait for him at night in the cold on a corner in Chinatown, and some of the parents were starting to freak out. There was like about maybe like 10 other chaperone parents there, and I tried to chill them out, and I didn't even get in trouble. I said, "Listen, what you don't understand is that Charlie doesn't make a lot of money driving the bus, so whenever he comes up here, he likes to volunteer for these trips when we're stuck here like this, because he dances at a leather gay bar down the road, and he makes a metric fuck ton of money, because there's not a lot of senior citizen old men dancing with leather in gay bars." And the teacher didn't shut me up. She actually shut some other people up, and she whacked one of the teachers and said, "Shh, listen, he's gonna start, here he goes." So she viewed me as an asset to this, and I did. I chilled the parents down, and earlier that day, it's hard enough over the years. We used to be able to find street parking up there, but over the years we just go to the Port Authority and then we walk around. So it's hard to park up there, and especially hard for a bus. And Charlie had to drive us like 6 blocks, and then we'd have to stop somewhere, and then we'd go see the thing. And so it was fucking packed on this particular day. It was fucking packed. And Charlie's like, we had to stop like right over there. And then it was a design for buses. There's buses, it says buses only. Bus parking here, buses. If you don't know where to go, bring your fucking bus here. Buses, this is where the buses can go if you have a regular car. Fuck you in a bucket of goo, bring your bus here, and this is what we'll do. And Charlie said, "I can't really find any place to park." I said, "Charlie, that's for buses." And he goes, "I don't like to go in there somewhere." "Charlie, you're a fucking bus." And I actually dropped the F-bomb there, which again, it was fine. The kids giggled a little bit. And then Charlie realized that he was in fact a bus and he could park there. Now, Beyond that, I'm out of stories to tell. We really do, Mrs. Comic. I really love streaming. Actually, when money's tight in anybody's life, you get a little stressed out, and that's as good a reason for us to stream live, even if you don't send us any money. But we like the money too. But this is good therapy for us. We love streaming. I really get my ass in gear. I'm counting on you, Pecker, as I mean in a nice way, to push me along on the book writing a little bit. Richter, send me loot and I'll figure out how to get you this mug. Um, let's see. That's pretty much it. Congratulations to Caesar on the dumbest plan to find a home of any cat that I've ever known that actually worked. Mrs. Comic sends her thank yous and her bye hellos and thanks for tuning in. And on that happy note, I'm going to leave you with not a cute cat picture, which I should. I will leave you with this shameless thing here to send us some loot if you can, and if you can't, we fucking get it. I mean, holy shit, there's so many causes out there in the world. How about the Amish guys trying to make some money to buy a bottle of bourbon? That's probably low on the list. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great week, and don't be a dick to anybody. Do nice, fun stuff for people. That's it, and hopefully I'll see you seeing me next week. Bye-bye.